What did you think of the season or the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead?
Ooh.
Spoilers, people, spoilers. Matter of fact, we haven't talked in a couple weeks. What have you thought about the season so far as a whole?
Great.
I wish I could agree.
Great. You know why? You know why? Because they have decided that the story is from the source material, the comic, and not from their stupid ideas. Because some of their ideas have been really stupid. Like, let's see. Let's think of a stupid idea that they had. Daryl Dixon, okay? Okay. But no, the reason that I've liked it is because Negan's the best character ever put to comics.
But he hasn't been used nearly enough.
Well, he's been used as much as he's been in it. Like, if you've read the comics, like where they're at in the comics, they've literally moved 4 or 5 issues in this part of the season from where we started. No, I really like it because they've introduced the key components of what they've needed to do. I don't like the bottle episodes, but I feel that every fan of anything ever will say they don't like bottle episodes. So like,
it just feels like I just feel like it slows down the pace too much.
Yeah, well, but they have to. They have to, you know, because we're getting on the comic book section now. Like, we're catching up to the comics to the point that we have maybe 2.5 seasons of material before we've passed the comics.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've said it before. My issue is, like, I like the fact that they stick close to the source material now, but I still feel like they're sticking a little too close. Like, I feel like you can use the comics and certain cues from the comics, but, like, you get to the point where you're pretty much just taking the book straight to the screen, and it gets too predictable.
They can't do that, which is what I'm like. They've spiced it up enough for me to where I know the main notes that they're gonna hit, but getting to those main notes is what's interesting to me because Judith is not alive in the comics.
Yeah.
So Negan interacting with a baby was something we've never seen before, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. Again, I didn't like Tara's episode.
Tara's episode was so bad.
The fact that they shoot in Oceanside like that, which makes me feel that they're going to give Michonne's story from the comics to Tara. But they had to give Andrea's story from the comics to Michonne. Yeah. And they're also giving part of Michonne's story to Carol. The part where Ezekiel loves her.
Part of Andrea is also Sasha, too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I felt they set up Maggie's transformation into a leader very well.
Yeah.
I loved when she hit Gregory.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're going to be completely honest, I feel that the first episode and then the last 2 were the best of the season so far. Because it gave me the scenes that I most wanted out of the comics to date, which were Lucille killing people, awesome. Carl killing saviors and getting the tour of the sanctuary, awesome. And then Spencer proving he has guts.
This is one thing I want to ask you. You might know. I tried to find the answer earlier, but I was distracted, so I don't know. I may have overlooked it. What is the timeline of the TV show? Because I know in the comics, not a lot of time has passed since the start of the. Because Carl's still pretty young in the comics at this point.
So,
but of course, they can't be that way because humans grow.
Right. You know? That's I noticed Enid. Or Enid, whatever her name is. She aged a lot from last season. Exactly. Even though it's literally been 3 days showtime, maybe. Yeah. Like literal time passing for them.
From the time that like.
Do you mean from the very first episode to now, or do you mean what this season's?
I'm talking the very first episode of season 1 until now. Are we going like? Because I know in the comics it's only. I mean, but how has Carl gotten so old, dude?
Yeah, you can't explain that part. That's something that we just have to forget.
No, we can't forget that. I mean, it has to. You know, you can't just forget that he was fucking like 8 or 10 or whatever in the fucking season 1, and it's only been 6 months or a year or maybe even 2 years, but now he's 18. He's about to turn 18.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you can't account for that because he aged 6 goddamn months in between the first time we saw him in the lineup and the time that Glenn got his head bashed in. That's the problem with casting kids, is that kids
Yeah.
get older while your adult cast can.
But I'm
be
saying, like,
looked the same.
taking that into account, they should alter the TV show, the TV world's timeline to fit that. Otherwise, it's like, I don't want to have to suspend my disbelief to sit here and think that Carl has just not aged since season 1 or 2, you know?
Well, he's not supposed to have aged a lot. And I mean,
But he
again,
has,
they
and
can't.
that's the problem.
7 years in real life is a
Yeah.
lot different than 6 months in TV life. And I mean, I know what you're saying, but honestly, the biggest jump of time that The Walking Dead's ever experienced doesn't happen until after we finish the next story arc of the TV show, and
Yeah.
it's a 2-year span of peace that we don't get any info on other than it was peaceful.
But going back to the current season, the Terra episode I felt like could have been condensed down, and it could have been combined with like the maybe the Kingdom episode.
I mean, I
or
understand
something
why
like
it was
that.
there, because we hadn't seen her because she was pregnant. You know, the actress was
Yeah.
pregnant, so she wasn't, a big part of last season. And at the very end, her and Heath are like, we're leaving. We got to go do this run. So we needed to get an update on that.
Yeah, but it could have been like, look, the Oceanside shit was awesome. Like introducing them, they're gonna play a big part, I'm sure, in the all-out war.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Not during the war, no.
You don't think so?
Nope, I don't think that. I honestly don't think Rick and them even find out about Oceanside until after the war's done. Like, if they do it, if they
So I
stick-
figured Tara would be like, hey, I met these people, and they could really help us against Negan because they know who he is and they have a history with him.
She might have told Rosita, but I doubt it. Because you remember at the end of that episode...
Well, I'm not saying she told him yet. I'm just saying that
might.
they could get to the point where they're trying to be like, we need more soldiers. And she'd be like, hey, I know these women that have a lot of guns, and they have a history with Negan. They might be willing to fight,
So, when we knew that this was what the season was going to be about, I was in some forums and I was talking to people and I was like, so what do you think about, I was like, they could literally take issues 101 through 108 and literally make it the first half of the season, which would lead us directly into all out war for 7B. But what I think what they're doing is, I think that the beginning of all out war will be the final, or it will be the finale of this season.
I think it will be too.
So I think we have probably 2 episodes of them trying to plan and be like, well, we don't have enough people.
Yeah.
And then, they just met up with Hilltop, so they're going to start talking there. But they have to go to the Kingdom and then convince them. And then I think Negan's going to end up, I think it's the Holly thing from the comics, where he returns their captive, or he had a prisoner and he returns it, but she has a bag over her face, and when she takes the bag off, it's actually a walker and she kills someone else. I think that's going to end up being the catalyst, something along those lines, as he returns someone like he has been, like with Carl, but they're dead this time. Because, they're already at the tipping point. It's just they have to get their shit together. If you want to think about it, this is like them forming the Rebel Alliance right now.
Yeah. It's been an alright season. I've
liked it.
I think it's been good. I just haven't been overly impressed with it.
See, I've honestly never wanted to buy the DVDs of Walking Dead. Never wanted to. And it's not because, I've watched them in other ways. It's... The reason I want to buy it is because, I watched the scene from season 6 with Negan in it.
Yeah.
And that's Negan. When Negan says fuck every 2 words, that's Negan.
Yeah.
So I want to find out if the Blu-ray of this is going to have the same thing with the F-takes.
They said I saw an interview with him the other day, and he said they did double shots of everything.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Perfect, because I will tell you, one of the best lines in the comic did make it onto the show unedited.
Which one?
Negan looked at Rick and said, I just slid my dick down your throat.
Oh, yeah.
And you thanked me.
Yeah.
One of the best lines ever.
So yeah. I'm
So you're kind of half and half, and I like
the season finale kind of made up for a lot of the gripes I had. I felt like there could have been a little bit more action. Who do you think the Boots are?
I have
the
no
person
idea.
that was watching.
That's probably the most interesting and unknown part.
And here's another thing I want to ask: do you think they kept? Do you think secretly off camera that Rick and Aaron stowed away some of those guns that they got from that houseboat?
I don't know how they could have though. Like, I mean, they
I know,
probably
well,
thought about it, right? They probably like put him somewhere else in the vehicle.
Yeah.
But when they pull up and the saviors are there, it's kind of like ruined any plan they might have.
I mean, I just feel like that they could have easily, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get into the next half of the season or even into season 9 and they're like going to do the fighting and they're like, we need guns. And it's like, we got some.
That is a
You know?
very interesting departure from the comic story.
Yeah.
In the comic story, the saviors do not take Alexandria's guns. They don't.
Yeah.
Because that's the
they need
thing.
them to go out and get shit.
Like, that's the reason, like, and honestly, it's Ezekiel that pushes Rick into fighting him. It's not Rick deciding he wants to fight. And the reason Ezekiel realizes this is because they have the one thing that the Saviors don't, and that is ammunition. Yeah. And then Eugene starts building them, and also Eugene getting captured is a new twist too. So
yeah, so Negan's gonna have all the bullets.
Poor old Rosita getting her pretty little face cut. Doesn't matter, man. That scar, she's still hot.
It was a neat little twist of her shooting Lucille, but at the same time, that kind of pissed me off. Well, like, I didn't want Negan to get shot. I mean, but it's just like, really, the bat, like...
well, they do shoot, like, there is that's a callback from a scene, but it's not Rosita, I think it's Andrea, and she misses the shot, but it takes a chunk out of Lucille and not just embeds into it.
That's what it should have done. It should have took a chunk out, and maybe the bat could have slowed it down enough and it still could have hit him and not killed him. Yeah. That would have been more believable to me, but the fact that it just stuck in the bat, I was like, come on.
I think it should have taken a chunk out of it. Yeah, but I mean, it was just seen lifted.
His reaction to it was awesome.
Right, exactly. You just tried to fucking kill me. Well, he didn't say fuck on the TV.
Because he was so pleasant through like most of the episode, you know. Then he gets down to Spencer pissing him off, and then and that was the last straw.
That was one of my favorite things. He's like, you're right. Rick does hate me, but he's out there fucking working for me right now.
He makes a good point. Oh, and the thing he's like, I fed your boy spaghetti. Yeah. Oh, dude, that cracked me up.
Taught him how to shave.
Yeah, taught him how to shave, and I fed him spaghetti. It's like,
I'm going to have to get me a vacation home in the suburbs.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
He's awesome, dude.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is killing it.
I will say that he is my favorite character that they've added. In all the different characters that have come on throughout the seasons.
And, like, one of the best parts was, they didn't give him direction on the character. Like, they said that he came in and he started doing the reading. Like, during his first few takes, he was, like, waiting for someone to correct him or say, do it more like this, and no one said a word. So he's like, I guess I'm doing it good then.
Yeah. Well, he read the comics, too. It's like preparation. Yeah. So he probably had a good idea in his head.
When his agent called him and said that Kirkman and Gimple and AMC wanted to meet with him for a possible role on AMC... He said the first words he said to his agent was it for Negan? Is it Negan? It better be fucking Negan.
Yeah. So he knew the character. Like, he probably had a picture in his head of how it should go. But, I'm at least excited for the next half of the season. I feel like they got all the bottle episodes and shit out of the way, and the next half of the season is going to be more faster paced.
I think there will be at least 2 bottle episodes.
I mean, there'll probably still be more, but I mean, it won't be every fucking episode.
No, we're gonna get a really, really drawn out Carol episode, I feel.
Yeah,
and I just likely don't care. Like I know everyone was all like, Carol's so cool. She's killed people and she's killed people.
Carol was
scared
cool,
children.
But now she's just like, I mean, Carol is awesome when she's rolling with the group. When she's alone, I don't give a shit.
Like, I mean, who cares? I wouldn't care if we don't see Carol for 5 years, and then someone goes to check on her, and she just withered away and died in that old house. Like, didn't turn to a walker, and then they're like, oh, shit, Carol was immune? Damn.
But, there we go, Walking Dead, and we've covered all the bases. Anything else you want to say?
Well, another interesting thing about Walking Dead, which is also from the comics, there are 2 Dr. Carsons. Yeah. One is at the hilltop. The one that Maggie went and saw. Yeah. The other works for Negan, and that's from the comics, and it's very cool. And it'll if you pay attention, you'll notice why that's important. During the war. So.
Hell yeah! Well, that's the episode for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. If you stuck around this long, again, give the video a like, a subscribe. Go to Dubcast.tv. Go to Dubzlist.com. Hit us up on Facebook and all them things. And
if this video gets 50 likes, in 10 comments, I will randomly pick one of the 10 commenters to get a $50 gift card to Amazon.
Well,
so there's your challenge. From my money.
If you've made it this far, you know.
But it's got to be 50 likes at least and at least 10 comments. If it's 9 and 49, fuck you.
Fuck you. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and do some cool shit. And hopefully we'll see you again real soon. Watch out for the potholes.